Espinosa, along with Steve Bull this morning.
Good morning, everybody. A very special morning as we bring you this special edition of our Morning Express. We are here in one of the largest building, in fact, the largest building in the world by volume, where they make the 777 and a lot of other Boeing airplanes, and the excitement is here. Joan, Lunden, and Charlie Gibson are going to be joining us a little bit later in the show, and there's so much more going to be going on this morning. It should be a lot of fun.
Real treat for us. Hope it's a treat for you, too. There are a lot of special things we have in store. Of course, we'll be talking with Joan and Charlie. But right now, we want to take you back to the studio. Keith and George have weather, traffic, and your headlines this morning.
Well, thank you, Lynn and Steve. Good morning. I'm Keith Elderidge.
And I'm George Siegel. Welcome to the KOMO News Morning Express.
It's an exciting day around here.
It is. It's a big
weather
day.
To match, though?
Yeah.
A little bit?
No, today's going to be looking pretty good. I'll have the forecast for you in a couple minutes.
Well, here's what's happening in the news this morning. Seattle police are holding 2 cars at a city garage in downtown Seattle. One of them may have been involved in a deadly hit and run. SeaTac is too crowded for you? Well, no problem. Just use the downtown Seattle airport. No kidding. It's one way you could be flying in the future. And as Lynn and Steve mentioned, Seattle and Everett in the spotlight this morning. Join us for special coverage of Good Morning America's visit throughout this hour.
That's right. As we hit 6 o'clock, though, time to get the first look at your morning commute. Let's go up to Bill Dickinson in for Ted Potter. And he's got live pictures from Skycam 4 and the KOMO Air Patrol. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. We're taking a look at Highway 99 up here in the Everett area as it goes past the Boeing plant. And we've got a good light volume of traffic here. No heavy volume so far here. Let's check I-5 as we come down from the Kings to Snohomish County line at 195th. Good flow of traffic there, light volumes as well. That continues on down through the downtown Seattle area at Roanoke. Both the express lanes and the main line moving along without any difficulty. And from the east side this morning on the floating bridges, 520 and I-90, which we're looking at here, are moving along without any problems. I'm Bill Dickinson in the KOMO Air Patrol.
Thank you, Bill. And the next report on this morning's report will be at 6:10. And, of course, you can hear him on the radio. KOMO AM 1000. And as far as the weather out there, look like a few clouds out there, George.
There are a few clouds. There's a few areas of showers, so our Good Morning America friends are getting a little taste of everything.
Well, not rain, I hope.
No, well, maybe a few showers, but I don't think it'll be raining there. Things aren't looking too bad. Outside right now at SeaTac, the sky is mostly cloudy. Sitting at a very comfortable 50 degrees with a southerly wind at 11 miles an hour. For this morning, areas of low clouds out there, and there's a few areas of showers along the south coast. Whidbey Island getting a few showers, but by this afternoon, partly sunny skies. Our highs today making it into the mid-60s, so we're going to wind up pretty good. A nice day in store.
Well, in the news this Friday morning, police have their first break in the hit-and-run death of a 7-year-old South Seattle boy. They say they have impounded 2 cars, one of which may have been involved in the case. Calvin Tualis Smith and his 8-year-old brother John were hit Monday while playing outside their grandmother's Rainier Valley home. Calvin died at the scene. His brother is still hospitalized. Well, late yesterday afternoon, police announced that they had impounded 2 cars, calling them vehicles of interest. One is a light gray mid-1980s Mazda that turned up in Auburn. The other is a white Ford Escort found in North King County. Police say both have front-end damage consistent with hitting a pedestrian. Investigators are asking the public to continue calling in tips.
That car had to pull in front of somebody, cut in front of somebody, or do something going southbound, and somebody saw it. They just don't know it yet.
Well, take a look at this computer artist sketch. If you think you've seen a car like this one, police believe it was a mid to late 1980s Ford Escort, Mercury Lynx, Ford Tempo, Mercury Topaz, white or light gray with some front-end damage. You can call the Seattle Police Department's Accident Investigation Unit. There's the phone number for you, 684-8936, or just plain call 911.
Now, besides helping police solve this crime, you can also help the young victim's family. Now, it's one goal of our KOMO Crime Crackdown, telling you about ways that you can help. And people are reaching out. Look at these envelopes already sent in care of our KOMO People Helper to help the family. More than $2,700 already. Now, if you'd like to help the family, make a check to People Helper and mark your check either to help the family through the Calvin Fund or to a reward fund for tips leading to the driver's arrest. Then send it care of our People Helper to KOMO TV, 100 4th Avenue North, Seattle, 98109. By the way, Calvin's brother John, who survived the crash, is still in the hospital, but he should go home within a few days.
A warning for drivers this morning that could save lives as summertime road work gets underway. Governor Lowry has launched a road worker safety drive. It's backed up by a new law in our state which dramatically increases the fines for people who don't slow down for workers, like Pat Forenesh. He was hit while working on road construction.
Motorist came into the work zone and hit me at 65 miles an hour. Dislocated my hip.
Well, the new law doubles the penalties for speeding in construction zones. For example, in the past, the penalty for driving just 6 miles over the speed limit in a construction zone was that figure, $57. Now it'll cost you $114.
Well, Everett's first night with a new curfew has come to an end. Downtown business owners think the curfew will help cut down on problems with late-night vandalism, thefts, and graffiti. Last night, police officers were busy getting the word out to young people. The new Everett rule aims to keep people under 18 out of a large area in the heart of downtown. The curfew will be in effect from 11 at night to 5 in the morning. For a while, police will just warn teenagers who are out during those hours, but soon officers will begin fining the parents of kids who repeatedly violate the curfew. Fine the parents, that'll bring it to a stop.
That's right, but I don't think that Steve and Lynn were subject to that curfew because I think they've been out all night in Everett.
They've been pulling an all-nighter.
That 777 plant in Everett. Steve and Lynn are there.
Isn't that the truth?
That's true. I think they kind of let us slide on that, or they would have picked us up as we came into the plant today. 'Cause we were here early, let me tell you.
We sure were. Oh, dark very early. You know, rare, though, that the national spotlight shines so brightly here on the Northwest. It's happened several times this year, it seems, but this is especially a proud day for us.
It really is, and proud, I guess, for me personally, even maybe a little bit more, because my good friends Joan, Lunden, Charlie Gibson here from Good Morning America, and we've got quite a show coming up.
What's this good friends business? I've never had before in my life.
He drops your name all the time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, he usually has to come to us. Now here we are coming to you.
You guys, see, I get into restaurants, I can cash checks. I know Charlie Gibson, Joan. Come on in. Best table in the house.
You know what's been interesting
That's
is...
great, because when the checks bounce, I'm sure they come right back. And,
You ought to quit.
For our viewers at home, the show has actually been taped. What you see beginning at 7 o'clock actually began.
Yeah.
You just did. And
we did it for the East Coast live, and then it gets played as the various time zones come back.
there were a lot of interesting things about the show. I know you were riding a bicycle around Boeing. What was that about?
Well, you'd have to ride a bicycle around this place. It's so huge. I mean, we're in the 777 bay right now where they're building half a dozen planes. I mean, just think about how big a plane is like this. And then if you can just look down this awesome building and you see where they're building 767s and then 747s. It's enormous.
While she was on the air for one of her interminable segments, you know, that never seemed to end, I jumped on a bike. I got down 2 bays. I went down, looked at the 767s. Yeah, I did.
Oh, did you?
I rode down, and then I was worried I was going to get lost coming back, and so I turned around. But you were going on and on and on. And the 767s are fascinating, and I want to go down and look at the 747s. What's interesting to me is there's a 747 out on the tarmac here, all ready for delivery to El Al.
Yeah.
And you realize that in some sense, these 747s are already obsolete because these two-engine airplanes, the 777s, are designed to replace them. I love the 747. I hate to see it go if it does. But I gather that the 777s will be flying most of those routes by the end of the century.
It could very well be. And of course, we should point out, folks, that Boeing is just one small part of what Joan and Charlie are going to be talking about this morning. They're sort of covering the entire Northwest. The show is not just originating from here. It's talking about a lot of things going on around here.
Well, Spencer's down in Portland, and so there's some discussion of that. That city, Portland is the name of the city? Yes, it is. And then you're doing the obvious things, coffee and the salmon situation,
right.
And
Houseboats.
And houseboats, because everybody, after Sleepless in Seattle, everybody thinks that everybody here lives on a houseboat.
You guys travel an awful lot of miles during the year. You're out and about on bus tours, and now you come out here. What do you get out of going out and seeing the people that you're reporting to and bringing information to every day?
3 miles. Boy, do we have those extra miles.
It is fun, though, for us, because, well, this show, I mean, it was the overnight crew at Boeing, but we often use studio audiences, or field audiences when we're out. And that's very helpful to us, because, as you know, to some extent, television is a one-way medium. You know, you're sitting there, you're doing the show from a studio in New York, you take it as sort of an article of faith that there's somebody out there, but you're never too sure. And it's good to go out and get their reaction to your program, hear what they think you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. And so that's very helpful.
Oh, you do everything right, Charlie. We have more coming up. Oh, yeah, we're going to come back, and a couple of special things, including some presents for Joan and Charlie.
Oh, we get stuff?
Steve went shopping.
I went shopping.
Steve went shopping. Beware. A lot coming up in the next hour. Stay with us. Right now, we'll go back to the studio to join.
All right, thanks, Lynn. Thanks. Actual gifts. We have seen these
We've
gifts.
seen them unwrapped. We had to wrap them for them. That's what we ended up doing. That's why we're here and they're there.
That's our job. But we're going to go back out to those guys in a little while, and we'll see some of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
But right now, we're going to go up into the air with Bill Dickinson in the KOMO Air Patrol.
We're looking at live pictures here of 405 as you head through the Kirkland Totem Lake area. And as you can see, nice light volumes of traffic so far this morning as we come through here. And this is usually one of the first areas to slow down in the morning, so we are off to a good start. No blocking accidents or disables to report anywhere. Let's take a look at I-5 up in the north end. As you come down through 175th, the traffic volumes there are also light, moving well this morning. It continues on down through the University District at 45th. You can see here again, no problems. And from the east side of the floating bridges, we have an excellent commute, as we do down on the south end, incidentally. And this view of Corwin Place on I-90, again, light volumes of traffic. I'm Bill Dickinson for Ted Potter in the KOMO Air Patrol.
All right, thanks, Bill. We'll check back with you at about 6:20, see how that commute's rolling along. And if you need Bill before then, once you get in your car, tune the radio to KOMO AM 1000 traffic reports on the 5s.